The moment the cameras flashed, the world didn't know what was about to unfold. A night meant for glitz, glamour, and celebration suddenly became a stage for something far more emotional. Something raw. Something impossible to ignore. Dylan Wang walked into the 2025 Weibo TV and Internet Video Summit with a practiced calm. Every step, every smile, every nod had been perfected over years of public appearances. But inside, his heart thumped differently tonight. Because tonight, Shen Yue would be there. She was radiant, effortlessly so, her gown flowing like liquid light across the red carpet. Fans screamed. Cameras clicked. But Dylan's eyes searched the crowd for her, moving past the noise, the applause, the chaos. And then he saw her. The moment their eyes met, the room seemed to shrink. Time slowed. Nothing else mattered. It wasn't about the summit anymore. It wasn't about awards or recognition or fan speculation. It was just them. For a second, a heartbeat, a flash of memory returned. The laughter on sets long ago, the quiet conversations behind the scenes, the moments no one else ever noticed. Old feelings, buried beneath years of schedules, rumors, and public scrutiny, surged back with a force neither expected. Shen Yue's lips curved into a small, cautious smile. It wasn't a full smile, it wasn't ready to be seen by the world, but it was enough. Enough for Dylan to feel a warmth he hadn't realized he had missed so desperately. He moved closer, though not too close. He stayed within the professional distance expected of stars at a major event. But every step carried an unspoken longing. The cameras didn't catch the exchange, but backstage staff later confirmed it. Dylan had lingered, subtly shifting in his seat, stealing glances at Shen Yue whenever he could. The summit progressed, awards were handed out, speeches were made. And yet, each time the spotlight shifted, their eyes met again. A silent dialogue passing between them. A language of memory, of unspoken confessions, of a love that never truly faded. It wasn't dramatic. There was no shouting. No running toward one another in the middle of the hall. Just a quiet acknowledgement, a mutual recognition that what they had shared was still alive beneath the surface. After the main awards ceremony, the event began winding down. Guests mingled, photographers tried to capture every fleeting moment, and reporters hurried for their final shots. Dylan found himself moving toward the terrace. A quiet space. Away from the cameras. Away from the audience. And there she was. Shen Yue, standing at the edge of the terrace, the city lights sparkling behind her like a reflection of the stars above. She hadn't noticed him yet. He approached slowly, his footsteps nearly silent. "Shen Yue," he said softly. Just above a whisper. She turned, startled at first. Then recognition softened her features, and the faintest glimmer of a smile appeared. It was almost surreal. Two people who had shared so much, now standing on the edge of a night full of applause, alone together in the quiet. Dylan's gaze lingered on her, tracing the curve of her jaw, the gentle sweep of her hair, the way her eyes caught the light. She looked back at him, and for a heartbeat, all the noise of fame, rumors, and years apart melted away. Neither spoke at first. Words felt unnecessary, because they had spoken through glances for years, through laughter for months, through a connection that had never truly faded. Then Shen Yue's voice broke the silence. Soft, trembling, honest. "I never thought I'd see you here like this," she said. "I didn't know if I wanted to. Or if I could." Dylan's lips curved into the faintest smile. He nodded, his eyes reflecting a mix of longing and relief. "No one else matters here," he replied, his voice barely audible. "Just this moment." And for a moment it was just that. Two hearts reconnecting in a world that rarely allowed them privacy. Two souls who had loved, lost, and survived, standing together again. Back inside, fans had begun to notice subtle changes. Dylan's expression, usually calm and distant, now held a warmth. A softness that hadn't been there in public appearances for months. Shen Yue, too, seemed lighter, freer. No longer the cautious star hiding behind polite smiles. But it wasn't just a reunion of old friends. It was the reawakening of something more profound. The spark that had first ignited between them. The connection that survived years of separation. was burning brighter than ever tonight. Staff members later reported that Dylan had offered her a quiet drink on the terrace. They didn't take photos. No cameras followed them. And yet, even without evidence, fans were quick to speculate. "The old flames are back," one comment read. "Finally, they're acknowledging what we've always known," another whispered. But what the public didn't see, the subtle brush of hands, the exchanged smiles, the quiet laughter, was far more powerful than any staged encounter could ever be. They talked about everything and nothing. Memories, projects, moments from the past. The world outside, with its prying eyes and flashing lights, didn't exist here. This was just for them. Dylan laughed softly at a memory Shen Yue shared. The sound low, intimate, and filled with a nostalgia that made her heart ache. She realized she had missed this. Missed him. Missed the way their conversations had always flowed effortlessly. Even in silence, even across distance and time. As the night drew to a close, neither wanted to say goodbye. But the cameras and staff would eventually notice if they lingered too long. So they stood in the quiet, letting the city lights and the soft breeze carry their words and unspoken feelings. Dylan finally spoke, his tone gentle, almost reverent. "I'm glad we met again," he said. Shen Yue nodded, her own voice catching slightly. "Me too. I didn't know if I would." It was a confession of the heart, a truth neither of them had spoken in years. And though simple, it carried the weight of everything they had shared, everything they had lost and everything they might still have. Back inside the hall, the final guests began leaving. The cameras were turned off. The lights dimmed. And yet, in that quiet corner of the terrace, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue stood together. Two people who had been apart for too long, finally sharing a moment that belonged only to them. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't cinematic in the traditional sense. It was something much rarer. Authentic, fragile, and breathtakingly real. As the summit concluded, staff and friends later whispered about what they saw. The way Dylan reached out, tentatively brushing a strand of hair from her face. The way Shen Yue smiled, her eyes glistening in the city lights. The way time seemed to pause for two stars whose connection had survived every test. Fans speculated endlessly in the following days. Was it a romantic reunion? A rekindling of old love? Or just a fleeting moment of nostalgia? The truth didn't matter as much as the feeling it left behind. Because in that fleeting exchange, the world had glimpsed the depth of their bond. And it was undeniable. Weeks later, Dylan posted a cryptic quote on his social media. "Some moments never fade, no matter how long we've been apart." Shen Yue, too, shared a serene photo of the city skyline at night, captioned, "Some people leave footprints you can't erase." Fans